Hi everybody. Now, this time I mean it. This is the last time we're gonna do a video up front. Okay. Maybe one or more, but this is an old mock-up. Paul McCartney plays the original Höfner bass. Why don't you? And it's hard to overstate the Beatles' importance on music culture. If you're under 30, you're probably like, yeah, whatever. But there's just no explaining it. So I got this bass from a guy that bought it new, and it has the original hang tags, this is kind of cool. It has an old Höfner catalog, and he bought it in 1967. This is a 67, and of course the Beetle Bass was made by Höfner. They were violin manufacturers. Even to this day, they're kind of like, yeah, we make violins. And you go, but you still make the Beetle Bass, don't you? And they'll go, yeah, we make those. But back in the day, it was the same thing. Paul McCartney bought a Beetle Bass in Germany because it was lightweight, and then they made a lefty. And so he could, oh good, there's a bass. And because it was lightweight, he kind of kept it. And if you saw the Beatles on the Disney special, you note that he said, it's like Charlie Chaplin. He wears the hat, he's got the little mustache, the little cane. It's my shtick, it's my thing. So I play the Beetle Bass. And because of that, everybody looked out for Beetle Basses. Now, this guy sent me the story, and I'm going to share it with you. It's the original case. One way to tell old Beetle Basses, 60s ones, is right there. The heel cap will be covered in some sort of pearl. The other ones kind of don't have a heel cap. The heel comes down, it's a little flatter, but you have that pearl heel cap. There's other things like the size of this and the staple pickups. There's a lot of little things you can look up. But this guy bought this, and I just want to share this because I love good stories with anything collectible, whether it's a car or a guitar. A lot of times the story has a lot to do with it. During the summer of '67, I was 19 and hitchhiking around the UK and Western Europe, sleeping rough and seeing what there was to see. I know, right? When in the UK, I made a pilgrimage to the Cavern, which is in Liverpool, where the Beatles started their career, which was still open in those days. And I was fortunate enough to see the triple barrel vaulted basement where the Beatles played their early gigs. I stood on the stage. In Germany, I met a fellow player in Hamburg, Germany, who the locals called him Beetle. Because he played guitar as one of the first in town to grow his hair long, luckily he spoke good English. I stayed with him for a few weeks, screwing around. One night he took me to Hamburg. We got very drunk, and where the Beatles played their famous early sessions. All I can remember that night was walking around through the red light district. And then another day we went to another music store, the Erit, and apparently it still exists, but mostly they do pianos. In those days it was a big guitar store with amps, probably why Beetle, the guy, wanted me to see it. There on the wall I saw the Höfner bass, that's this one, and fell in love and bought it on the spot, not knowing how I was going to travel on the road all throughout Europe with my new Beetle bass. It's me, my backpack, and my bass. I didn't care, I had to have it. Eventually I glued a small American flag to the case and used it to attract rides, and there's a little square on the case there that was the American flag, and he put it down and he said he'd hitch a ride with the American flag in Germany in '67. You got a ride. This is why the headstock of the case is a little beat up from sitting on the pavement while I stuck my thumb out. The picture's 1968, the rhythm section of Refried Beans, his band, and that's kind of the story of this guy. And oh, there we go. And that's a kind of a bad picture of him. But that is a Beetle bass that was bought in Germany in 1967 when the Beatles were at their peak. He dragged it around Germany, thumbing a ride, living large for a 19-year-old. And came home and he sold it to me just the other day. And here's the point of the story: I'm not selling it. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. Last video. Fade or I don't know. Bring in the dancing troops.